Simon & Schuster Audio presents The Usual Desire to Kill by Camilla Barnes, read by Harriet Walter. Prologue. "I don't think much of those new socks of yours," she says. "I never think of my socks," he answers. "I looked at the label on them. It says hand wash only." "And? Well, I'm not going to spend the rest of my life hand-washing your socks." "It's unlikely that you will, although you may spend the rest of my life doing that." June. One Saturday morning last summer, I sat at the kitchen table watching Dad out by the duck pond feeding the bad cats in the hot French sun. He walked back across the lawns, empty cat bowls in one hand, floppy garden hat swinging in the other. Despite his age, he was long and loose-limbed. His hair still had an elegant wave to it, and there was a distant glitter of the mischievous schoolboy that lingered in his eye. How like Alice, I thought. The same loping stride, angular and English, but not awkward. He was followed by a couple of white ducks that waddled on their webs, burrowing their beaks in the lawn as they looked for worms. Once outside the kitchen, beneath the dusty vine, he stopped and took off his boots. At the same time, on the other side of the house, Mum came in through the front door. She was wearing a dress, she would call it a frock, that I could remember her buying in England before they moved to France, so it must have been 30 years old. A splashy summer cotton of pinks and blues. It had worn well, but I could see that she'd let out the darts in the back. She'd always been sturdy and solidly built, stocky, unlike Dad. It would have taken the same amount of plasticine to make either of them, but rolled out differently. Mum was like a piece of low-slung Victorian furniture, chubby cushions, thick brocade, dark wooden arms, and too heavy to move on your own. Nothing sagged. Her face was plump, the skin taut and shiny, like good quality oak. Her clothes fitted as tightly as if a liquid form of her had been poured into them from above. The kitchen was in a strategic position. I could keep an eye on both the back and the front of the house, but at the same time stay tucked away in a corner of the L-shaped room. Mum was just back from the market. A heavy basket sat on one hip, and a shopping bag weighed down the other. She couldn't see me as she hobbled in, put the basket and the bag on the floor by the small, squat, under-the-counter fridge, then groaned.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?